Most men believe attraction is something they can manufacture, thinking that if they say the right things, behave a certain way, or execute the perfect strategy, a woman will automatically desire them. But here's the reality. You cannot convince a woman to feel attraction. You can only become the type of man she can't ignore. This is where most men go wrong. They chase, they plead, they try to prove their worth. Yet the moment you start trying to win over a woman, especially one who isn't interested, you've already lost. Attraction doesn't function through logic. Women don't make their choices the way they would evaluate a job application. They don't sit down and assess a man's qualities rationally. They feel attraction, and feelings are not dictated by reason. They are triggered. That's why you see men who barely make an effort, who seem indifferent, yet women pursue them relentlessly. Meanwhile, the men who are polite, accommodating, and do everything right are overlooked, ignored, or left behind. It's not about fairness. It's about what moves a woman emotionally. So if you've ever experienced a situation where a woman seemed disinterested, pulled away, or gave you minimal attention, this is for you. By the time we're done, you'll understand exactly what shifts the power dynamic. You'll know how to position yourself as the man she desires, rather than the man she merely tolerates. And no, this isn't about cheap manipulation, trickery, or pickup artist gimmicks. This is about becoming the kind of man women naturally respect, crave, and even chase. A man who triggers deep attraction, even from a woman who once overlooked him. So if you're ready to stop begging for attention and start commanding it, let's get into it. Stop trying to impress her. The first step to attracting any woman, even one who isn't interested, is to stop trying to impress her. You might not like hearing this, but the harder you try to make a woman like you, the less she will. Most men fall into this trap without even realizing it. They believe that if they say the right words, dress a certain way, or showcase their achievements, a woman will suddenly feel attraction. But that's not how it works. Women aren't drawn to men who seek their approval. They're drawn to men who don't need it. If you're constantly trying to win her over, what message does that send? It screams desperation. It tells her that you believe she's above you, and that's a massive turnoff. Now let's break down what actually works. Think about the men who naturally attract women. Do they look like they're trying? Not at all. They simply do their own thing, and women gravitate toward them. That's because attraction isn't about what you do. It's about who you are. When a man is comfortable in his own skin, women feel it. He doesn't over-explain himself, he doesn't try too hard, and he definitely doesn't put her on a pedestal. Picture this, you're at a party. You spot a woman you're interested in. What do most guys do? They start talking too much, try too hard to be funny, or buy her drinks to impress her. But the man who truly understands attraction does the opposite. He keeps things effortless. He throws in a playful remark, keeps the interaction short, and moves on, like she's not the most important thing in the room. And here's what happens next. Instead of you trying to get her attention, she starts trying to get yours. She wonders why you're not chasing her like every other guy. That curiosity turns into attraction. So if you want to flip the script, stop thinking you need to prove yourself. The less you try to impress her, the more she'll respect and desire you. Be willing to walk away from her. The second step to attracting any woman you want is to be willing to walk away from her. This is where most men fail. They stick around, hoping she'll change her mind, waiting for her to finally notice them. But here's the harsh truth. If a woman knows she has you no matter what, she will never truly value you. Women don't chase men who are always available. They chase men who can walk away without hesitation. That's because scarcity creates value. Think about it. When something is rare or hard to get, people want it more. But when it's always there, it becomes ordinary. The same rule applies to attraction. Now, most guys do the opposite. If a woman loses interest, they panic. They start texting more, chasing harder, and trying to fix the situation. And in doing so, they destroy any remaining attraction. But the man who understands this game knows the power of walking away. He doesn't beg, he doesn't plead, and he doesn't lower his standards just to keep a woman around. He knows that if she doesn't see his value, he has no reason to stay. Let's say you're seeing a woman, and suddenly she starts acting distant. She's taking longer to respond, canceling plans, or making excuses. The average guy? He doubles his efforts trying to win her back. But the man who truly understands attraction does the opposite. He pulls away too. He lets her feel his absence instead of forcing his presence. And guess what happens? If she has any interest in you at all, she'll notice the shift. She'll start wondering why you're not chasing like every other guy. That curiosity makes her reevaluate her own feelings. And if she was testing you, she'll see that you're a man who won't tolerate disrespect. But here's the key. You can't fake this. You have to mean it. You have to genuinely be willing to walk away if a woman isn't meeting your standards. Because the moment she senses you're bluffing, you lose all power. So here's the reality. The man who can walk away is the man who gets respected. And once you master this mindset, you'll notice something interesting. The women who once ignored you suddenly start paying attention. Ignore her beauty and challenge her mind. The third step in a female attraction is one that most men overlook, but it's one of the most powerful strategies you can use. Ignore her beauty and challenge her mind. Most men mess up the moment they meet a beautiful woman. They get mesmerized, nervous, and suddenly start treating her like she's some kind of goddess. And you know what? She can feel it. She's used to guys worshiping her just because she looks good. But here's the truth. Beauty means nothing if a woman brings nothing else to the table. And deep down, she knows it too. She meets men all the time who put her on a pedestal for no reason other than her looks. It gets boring. She doesn't respect men who are so easily swayed. That's why the man who challenges her mentally stands out. He's not throwing compliments at her left and right. He's not agreeing with everything she says just to win points. Instead, he makes her think. He teases her, questions her, and doesn't let her off the hook just because she's pretty. And this is what most men don't understand. Women don't fall for men who give them everything too easily. They fall for men who make them work for it. If she feels like she has to impress you instead of the other way around, everything changes. That's when she starts craving your validation instead of you chasing hers. Think about it. Why do women always go after the guy who doesn't seem that interested? Because he's different. He's not handing out attention like candy. He's not afraid to challenge her opinions, call her out, or make her earn his respect. And that is what makes her want it more. Most guys are afraid to do this because they think they'll lose her. But that's the wrong mindset. If a woman loses interest the moment you stop acting like a fanboy, then she was never really interested in you to begin with. So here's the shift. Stop seeing beauty as the ultimate prize. When you start treating attractive women like regular people, you instantly separate yourself from the crowd. And once she realizes you're not just another guy who falls at her feet, that's when she starts looking at you differently. Master the power of silence. The next step to attracting any woman is a skill most men overlook. Master the power of silence. Most men talk too much. That's the problem. The moment they get around a woman they like, they feel the need to fill every silence, explain themselves, prove their worth, entertain her with endless conversation. And guess what? It kills attraction. If you're always talking, always reacting, and always trying to keep the conversation alive, you're sending one clear message. You need her attention. And the second she senses that, she knows she has control. Wake up. Real men don't beg for attention. They don't feel the need to over-explain, overshare, overcompensate with words. They know that silence is powerful. It builds tension. It creates mystery. It forces the other person to invest in the conversation. Think about the men who naturally command respect. Are they the ones constantly talking, trying to impress everyone? Number. They speak with purpose. They don't say more than necessary. And when they do speak, people actually listen. But here's where most guys go wrong. When a conversation slows down, they panic. They start rambling. They ask unnecessary questions. They desperately try to keep the woman entertained. And that's when she checks out. Because if you can't even handle a little silence, how are you going to handle real challenges in life? Instead, try this. Next time you're with a woman, embrace the silence. Let her be the one to fill the gaps. If she asks a question, don't rush to answer. If she tells a story, don't jump in just to keep the attention on you. Hold back. Make her wonder what you're thinking. And here's the best part. Women respect men who don't give away everything too easily. When you control your words, you control the frame. She starts leaning in, working harder for your attention, and feeling that natural pull toward you. So, stop talking so much. Stop trying to impress. Stop filling every second with empty words. Silence is strength. Use it. Make her jealous without even trying. The fifth step to getting any woman attracted to you, even if she's not interested, is simple. Make her jealous without even trying. Let's be honest. Women want what other women want. It's in their nature. When they see a man who's in high demand, suddenly he becomes 10 times more attractive. But if no other woman is showing interest, he's invisible. Where most guys get it wrong, most men try too hard to make a woman jealous, flirting with other women in front of her, bragging about their options, playing childish games. That's weak. A man who truly understands attraction doesn't need to force jealousy. It happens naturally, because he's a man of value. Women can sense when a man is wanted. It's in the way he carries himself, the confidence in his presence, the ease in his conversations, the fact that he doesn't put her on a pedestal, because he knows he has options. Here's how it works. Imagine you're out in a group setting. You're casually talking to another woman, not flirting, just engaging in an interesting conversation. The woman who wasn't paying much attention to you before? Now she's watching, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because she suddenly sees you in a different light. She sees that other women enjoy your presence, which makes her wonder why. And that's the key. You don't force it. You just live it. Instead of trying to prove your worth, you focus on your purpose. Improve yourself. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you. Women pick up on that energy. They can't help but take interest. Here's the brutal truth. If a woman thinks no other woman wants you, she's not going to want you either. It's basic psychology. People desire what seems valuable. And when a man is already being admired by other women, it signals that he's worth something. So don't waste time trying to prove your worth to her. Let your value speak for itself. When she sees that you're already someone women are drawn to, she won't want to be left out. And that's how you create attraction without chasing. Control the frame and game. The sixth step to attracting any woman, even if she's not interested, is simple. Control the frame and game. Most men give up control instantly. The moment they meet a woman they like, they adjust their behavior, filter their words, try to fit into what they think she wants. And in doing so, they lose all power. She's leading the interaction. They're just following. Women don't respect men they can control. They respect men who set the tone. If she feels like she can pull you in and push you away whenever she wants, the game is over. But when you hold your ground, when you stay centered no matter what she does, she starts seeing you differently. What does it mean to control the frame? It means you dictate the energy of the conversation, the dynamic of the interaction, the way things move forward. If she's being difficult, you don't get frustrated. If she throws a test at you, you don't flinch. If she tries to get a reaction, you give her nothing. You are the rock. Where most men fail, they react too much. She takes too long to text back. They panic. She acts cold. They chase harder. She pulls away. They overcompensate. And the more they react, the weaker they look. Now compare that to a man who never loses his center, the man who controls the frame, doesn't care if she's playing games, doesn't get emotional if she's distant, doesn't feel the need to prove anything because he knows his worth. Nothing she does shakes him. The man who controls the frame doesn't care if she's playing games, doesn't get emotional if she's distant, doesn't feel the need to prove anything because he knows his worth. Nothing she does shakes him. Here's the key. Women don't test men because they're cruel. They test to see if you're real. If you crumble under pressure, she knows you're not the strong, confident man you appear to be. But if you hold the frame, if you refuse to be dragged into her emotional chaos, she starts to feel something different. Respect. The one who controls the frame controls the game. So from now on, stop reacting. Stop over-explaining. Stop trying to prove yourself. Lead. Don't follow. When you master this, women will start to feel your presence on a whole different level. Stop trying to prove yourself. The seventh step to attracting any woman, even if she's not interested, is simple. Stop proving yourself. Most men make this mistake. They meet a woman they like, and suddenly they feel like they have to justify why she should give them a chance. They list their accomplishments, they brag about their job, they talk about how much they can offer. And while they think they're impressing her, they're doing the opposite. Why proving yourself backfires? The moment you try to prove yourself, you put her above you. You're basically saying, I need to convince you that I'm worth it, which tells her you don't believe in your own value. And if you don't believe in it, why should she? Women don't want men who seek validation. They're drawn to men who already know they're enough. The man who walks into a room and doesn't feel the need to prove anything? That's the man who gets attention. Flip the script instead of thinking, I hope she likes me. Shift your mindset to, I wonder if she's good enough for my time. The difference is huge. Think about the kind of men women chase. They don't beg. They don't convince. They don't sell themselves. They just exist in their own space, and women naturally want to be part of it. How this works in real life. Let's say a woman asks you, so what do you do for a living? Most guys, they go on a long speech hoping to impress her. The man who understands attraction, he answers casually. No need for approval, no need for validation, because he doesn't need it. The secret to effortless attraction, when you carry yourself like a man who doesn't need to prove anything, she starts wanting to prove herself to you. Women are used to men chasing, convincing, trying too hard. The moment they meet a man who isn't doing that, they feel something different. Curiosity, intrigue, attraction. Women will test you. Don't break. Women test men just to see if they'll break. They'll challenge your confidence. They'll make a sarcastic remark. They'll act unimpressed. Weak men, they scramble. They explain themselves. They try harder. Strong men, they don't even flinch. They smile, maybe tease back, or just move on, unfazed. And that's when she realizes, this guy is different. You're not a product. You're the prize. Stop selling yourself. Stop trying to prove your worth. Stop chasing validation. Understand this, and everything changes. Give her an emotional roller coaster. The last and perhaps most unexpected strategy for making any woman attracted to you is to take her on an emotional roller coaster. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's one of the most powerful ways to spark deep attraction. Here's the truth. Women don't fall for men just because they're nice. If politeness and good manners were enough, every respectful guy would have women chasing him. But that's not how attraction works. Women are drawn to emotions, not logic. If she doesn't feel something when she's around you, excitement, curiosity, even a little frustration, you'll fade into the background like every other forgettable guy. Most men fall into one of two traps. Some play it too safe, always agreeing, being overly polite, and avoiding risks, boring. Others swing too far the other way, trying too hard to be mysterious or distant, which only pushes her away. The key is balance. You need to mix pleasure with unpredictability. Think about it. Why do women chase men who are a little hard to figure out? Because they keep them guessing. One moment he's playful, teasing her, making her laugh. The next he's focused on something else, serious and composed. That contrast keeps her engaged. She never quite knows what's coming next, and that's what makes him irresistible. Take texting, for example. Most guys either text her constantly, making it clear they have nothing else going on, or they ignore her too long, causing her to lose interest. The man who understands attraction does neither. He engages her, keeps the conversation fun and intriguing, but he's never too available. Sometimes he disappears, not because he's playing games, but because he's genuinely busy living his life. And what happens? She starts checking her phone, rereading their messages, wondering why he hasn't responded yet. In other words, he's made her feel something, and that's the secret. When a woman starts associating you with strong emotions, whether it's laughter, excitement, or even a little frustration, you become unforgettable. So stop trying to be the guy who makes her feel comfortable all the time. Comfort doesn't create attraction. Challenge does. The moment you become unpredictable, she stops seeing you as just another guy and starts feeling drawn to you. The hard truth about attraction. Here's the reality. Women don't choose the best man. They choose the man who makes them feel the strongest emotions. You could be the nicest, most hardworking guy out there. But if she doesn't feel that irresistible pull toward you, none of it matters. And this is where most men go wrong. They assume that being good enough will win her over. It won't. Attraction isn't about fairness. It's not about who deserves what. It's about power, mystery, and emotional highs and lows. If you don't know how to create that spark, you'll always be the guy she likes, but never the one she desires. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been ignored by a woman, only to watch her chase after a guy who barely put in any effort? Drop a comment below and share your experience. I'll be checking the comments and reaching out. Let's talk about it. Because the truth is, too many men realize this too late. If you've made it this far, you already have an advantage. Most guys will never learn this stuff, but you're here, paying attention. Now it's time to put it into action. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.